everybody, my name's Infinite Gamer, and welcome to What Is, the series where we ponder the question, what is? And today I've yet to get a video game. It feels like it's been ages. Hey, big boomy voice guy, where the heck are you? I want my game.
I'm very sorry, it's been hectic around here. It'll be sent shortly.
Around where? I'm in the middle of empty space. How can it be hectic?
I don't have time to explain this right now. Play the game I give you or you're getting cut off.
Fine. Yes, I finally did it! Oh, come on. Sony Marvel's Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm not calling it that. Spider-Man 2018 was developed by Insomniac, apparently one of my favorite game studios with their work behind Ratchet and Clank. I didn't know it was Insomniac that made that game series. They also made Spyro the Dragon 2, which I can't wait to cover one of these days. So with two popular franchises under their belt, they wanted to branch out to the Marvel universe. Thankfully for them, the Marvel gaming studio was looking for a game that wouldn't be connected to any of the Marvel movies. Insomniac could work with this. Now they just needed a Marvel character to work with. After going through some candidates, they ended up choosing Iron Man. Wait, no, never mind. They went with Thor. Still, no? Oh, Spider-Man. Really? With all the Spider-Man games already out, they still went with Spider-Man. Okay then. The reason for this is because Insomniac wanted the protagonist to be relatable, and there is no superhero more relatable than Peter Parker. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna relate to a rich, edgy guy. Not gonna happen. Sorry, DC. It's hard to say exactly when development started for Spider-Man since all three parties wanted to keep it pretty hush-hush, but it seems to have started after the release of Sunset Overdrive in 2014. Hey, remember how I said there was like, I don't know, 30 games about Spider-Man already? Well, Insomniac had some troubles figuring out how to write their Spider-Man game in a new way. No, really? Who could have seen this happening? Sarcastic remarks aside, I have to say the team did a pretty good job at making this a unique Spider-Man experience. Spider-Man 2018 was announced in July of 2016 and would finally release in the fall of 2018 on September 7th. With great power comes great responsibility. Well, let's see how Insomniac handled this great hero. Spider-Man 2018 looks... Okay, calm down you internet Karens. For one, I played the remaster version of Spider-Man on the PS5, and dang, does it look nice. One of my favorite things to note in this game is how great the lighting is. Web-slinging your way through New York City during night is one of my favorite things to do, but during the day the visuals kinda look bland. I think it's just the city setting that makes it really hard to be interested in the visuals. I'm not gonna lie, while playing, I just kind of followed the yellow marks around the city and didn't feel like there was too much to say about New York. Maybe if I had been to New York in real life, I would have a different opinion on it, but I don't know. But what I do know is the animations are great in this game. The cutscenes are like watching an action movie in the game. The soundtrack also slaps. It works so well for Spider-Man, it really complements any of the action sequences throughout the game or just swinging around the city. It's just a perfect blend of Spider-Man. The UI is kind of bland. When I opened it for the first time, I was like, is this it? Although it might be bland, it does get the job done. It is very easy to move through, and it's very organized. This also carries over to the map, so it's easy to track and find anything around the city in this game. Spider-Man kind of works like Breath of the Wild. There are these towers to activate, and once they are activated, it marks all your collectibles in the area. Open world games need to be more like this. It's a perfect system. But with great exploration comes great gameplay. Hopefully. Thankfully for us, we don't have to hope because this game rocks, guys. It does have some flaws that I'll talk about later, but let's start with all the gameplay elements that go into saving New York City. Spoiler, there's a lot. Spider-Man 2018 is an open world game with a heavy focus on exploration and comboing your enemies in quick, chaotic combat segments. Oh, also, it's a Spider-Man game, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Spider-Man 2018's combat has two main elements. One, the normal fighting, where you'll use combinations of punches, kicks, and webbings to take down your foes, while finding ways to make up combos will help you move around the battlefield in order to take down large groups of enemies. Your Spidey sense will allow you to evade and dodge your enemies' attacks. There are your standard roster of enemies around, like your shield men, gun/projectile men, brute enemies, and melee weapon users. Each one of these enemies has a special way to be taken down. Your second element of combat is your gadgets. Gadgets aren't mandatory for combat, well, except for your first gadget you get at the start of the game, which is used to take down brutes and gunmen. But other than that, gadgets are an optional form of combat used most of the time to break up large groups of enemies or to take down a bigger enemy more quickly. I use the web bomb gadget the most. This gadget, when shot at an enemy, will detonate a bunch of webs, webbing anyone near the explosive. Some of these gadgets are used for stealth missions, like the trip mine gadget, which will trap anyone who walks into the trip mine without anyone seeing you. Speaking of stealth, Spider-Man has one of my favorite stealth systems to ever be in a video game. It's so much fun to sneak around the rafters and pick off unsuspecting baddies with ease. The reason it's so easy though is this little bar next to someone letting you know if it's safe to take down someone or not. Although the stupid stealth missions with MJ are awful. I'm playing Spider-Man, not MJ's Superstar Adventure into the tortures of slow stealth missions, the movie, the video game. Exploration in Spider-Man is fun as heck, and it all boils down to two words: web-slinging. I haven't played any of the Spider-Man games, so I can't say how it compares, but web-slinging has literally made me decide to complete the entire game. It's that fun. I will say for me, it did take some time to really understand, but once I got it down, I was swinging for days. Swinging around New York City has its perks, like collecting the millions of collectibles and upgrades. To be honest, I don't like the way this game does upgrades, because it's confusing and kind of annoying. While exploring, you will pick up a number of collectibles and stop many crimes. I like doing crimes, but New York might be out of my league. Picking up these collectibles will give you a token. Pick up a backpack and you get a backpack token. Stop a crime, you get a crime token, so on and so forth. These tokens will give you upgrades like unlocking gadgets or giving suit mods. Suit mods will grant you passive abilities that are kinda OP. These mods get really strong as the game progresses. You can also unlock new suits for Peter to use. These suits can sometimes come with suit powers that once unlocked can be equipped to any suit you have. These suit powers give you a strong ability while in combat, like shooting webs everywhere or sending a spider drone to shock some dudes. Spider-Man 2018 is like playing a Spider-Man movie, and the story helps propel us into a new universe. Like a Spider-Verse. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll see myself out. Spider-Man 2018 takes place 8 years after Peter Parker has become Spider-Man. Peter Parker starts his day by dressing up in spandex and taking down an organized crime syndicate. Spider-Man swings into Fisk Tower ready to take down Wilson Fisk for all his crimes, which I haven't seen, but I'm just gonna take their word for it. Spider-Man starts Spider-Manning and is able to take down Fisk. Fisk gives Spider-Man a warning that putting him in jail is a big mistake, but I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Oh, and now there's a mysterious demon man stealing things. That can't be good. With Fisk gone, a new group of mysterious individuals have taken advantage of the situation, and it looks like they don't really care about New York, leading to riots breaking out on the street. It's up to Spider-Man, with the help of some of his friends, to investigate and figure out what's behind all of these acts of violence. All while Peter Parker has to make it to his job being an apprentice for a scientist on the brink of great discovery, and his volunteer work with Aunt May, meaning Peter is going to be pretty stretched on time. How will he manage all his responsibilities? Well, that's up to you to find out. But that is about the most I can say without spoiling the game. I will give props to the writers of this game, since we really get to see all sides of Spider-Man, from Peter Parker and Aunt May's relationship to the genius lab assistant that Peter Parker is while helping Dr. Octavius. And who can forget Mary Jane? Seeing Peter try to fix his broken relationship with Mary Jane is honestly both heartbreaking and hilarious all at the same time. I really enjoy seeing how Peter Parker and Spider-Man truly have a hard time coexisting with how many responsibilities that Peter tries to juggle and all the convicts that Spider-Man has to put away. I also really love the choice of the villain in this game. I don't know much about Mr. Negative, so having him be the villain in this story keeps it mostly fresh and pretty unique. I will say, however, there are like 3 major stories going on throughout the game, leading the story at times to get ripped into a new subject. How the game starts and how it ends is nothing alike. If I'm being honest, Mr. Negative doesn't even feel like the big villain for this game, but that's all I'm going to say when it comes to the story. Spider-Man 2018 is a game meant for Spider-Man fans. It doesn't matter if you're a fan of the comic books, the movies, or the other Spider-Man games. This game is for you Spider-Man fans out there to geek out over all the references, buildings, and villains from your favorite universe. To swing around as your favorite superhero can feel great. Insomniac Games really grabbed everything about Spider-Man to use in this game, from his scientist background, photography, Peter Parker, Aunt May. You really get to see every side of Peter Parker throughout your playthrough. The combat is fast-paced while being really fun to rack up combos on. Traveling throughout New York City couldn't be more fun, and finding collectibles is so easy and fun to complete. This game is just a blast to play all the way around to fully completing it, and I believe that any Spider-Man fan who hasn't played this yet should hop onto the Spider train before Spider-Man 2 releases. That being said, for people either new to Spider-Man as the character or you're just a casual fan, you're going to see a lot more flaws in this game that most fans might just brush off, like the annoying and confusing material system. The tokens in this game suck. For each collectible, you will get its corresponding token, meaning, for example, if you hate doing Taskmaster challenge stations and you don't want to do them, you are going to be locked out of upgrades. Just because you don't want to have to do one activity the game has shouldn't lock you out of upgrades. It gets really annoying if you're not someone who wants to collect everything. Now, you can still progress through the game without these upgrades. It's just something I picked up in my playthrough. Another thing is that the combat can be really slow at the beginning of the game. I was worried it was going to be like this throughout the entire game, but thankfully it picks up as you continue, and none of your combat skills are upgraded through these tokens. You get those upgrades by just playing the game. So if you're someone who is wondering if Spider-Man is a fun game and you just want to play it for that reason, I think you should give it a go. I'm a casual Spider-Man fan, so I probably was harder on this game than other people I know, and I came out fully completing the game and enjoying most of my time with it. So, at the price of $39.99 for the PS4 and $49.99 for the remastered PS5 version, I recommend Spider-Man to anyone who wants to go on a fun action movie-like adventure, regardless to how much you like Spider-Man. Thank you for everyone who watched this Spider-Man review. As always, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, since my next episode is going to be on Spider-Man Miles Morales. If this review helped you decide on getting Spider-Man or not, let me know in the comments below. I can't wait for Spider-Man 2 to come out, but until then, you can't see it, but I'm waving you all goodbye.